Today I want to talk about the meaning of number 1313. First, I had experience with number 1111. It started when I started to see the number everywhere. I started to see on the my vehicle dashboard, my alarm clock. I saw it on my watch, even on a computer. So I started to notice, to take a note of what does it really mean. Before I search, before I started searching it on the internet, I just decided to discover the meaning for myself. The first thing I discovered is that most of the time when you see those numbers, I would pay more attention to the current situation, like what kind of location I am, the the kind of thoughts that are on my mind, the emotional states, and things like where am I going at that point, or am I planning anything? And the key point to knowing to decode the meaning of these numbers is to really look on those factors that what are you currently doing? What are you thinking about? What are you feeling about? Who are you thinking about? And where are you currently located? Because sometimes also it depends on the location you are or where are you heading. So after discovering the meaning of 1111, to me the number 1111 basically it means, like, to me it was just a message that you are going on the right direction, or whatever that you are planning to do, you should put more energy and make it happen. And then I discovered there are also meaning behind other numbers like 1212, 444, 333, which I'll probably go and make some videos about the meaning of those numbers. Recently, I started to see number 1313, and I was just wondering what does this number mean, because in most movies, these numbers they portray something very negative, something like a misfortune or something demonic. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Why would I be seeing number 1313? But the first thing I started to notice is, in a way, number 1313 might not necessarily means number 13. I'll give you an example. For example, when we are counting the hours, we don't, my own opinion is we don't really count them correctly, because when does the day start? The day begin in the morning, right? The day doesn't begin after midnight. That's like, why would it why would the day beginning at midnight instead of just beginning in early in the morning, like after 6 o'clock at 7? That's when the day begins. But for some reason, I research a little bit about it. They say about the Greenwich and the world clock and things like that. But like, every region in the world has a different time. But either way, for my own personal opinion, I think it would align more. It will be in sync with the cosmic hours when the first hour of the day begins in the morning. When you wake up, that's when it's the is the first hour, is the beginning of the hour. So um, looking at this from this perspective, when number 13 is mostly when you set your clock to 24 hours format, because usually after 6 o'clock you would have one, you would return to one. And that's what I mean, like when it's 6, why would it be sorry, when it's 12, why would it go to 13, right? Because it's the mid of the day. The mid of the day is the sixth hour. If it's the sixth hour, then the seventh hour is 13. And then the same thing with so if you take that into account, it means that the hours are not counted correctly. There's like 6 hours missing. You're waking up. You're already late 6 hours. 6 hours of your days, they're already gone, right? So, anyways, so that's what I mean. Like sometimes 13 might not necessarily mean 13. It just means that it's the seventh hour of the day, or it's past the mid of the day. So, in a way, the 1313 sometimes, or in most cases, it might mean 713. So, and you may try to evaluate it in a numerological point of view, but it may not necessarily bring you the actual vibration of that number, because um, we're already counting it in a wrong way. Anyways, so this video is about the 13. So my experience with 1313, first, this number I only saw it on the clock, like based on the clock. I didn't see it on any other things like the date or anything like that. So it means that it's actually 713, which when you add them together, you add 7 and 1 plus 3 is 4, so it comes to 11, right? So basically, the in my own point of view, what I'm talking about, it's 713. So 713, in my own personal experience, it means that you have to clear out all uh, your emotional things that are blocking you from moving forward. Like if you have a grudge towards something, or if you have emotional feelings towards someone, you have to deal with it. You have to face it. You have to go and talk to that person. If you like someone and you haven't been really telling them your real feeling about towards that person, you should go and tell them. If you have a conflict in your relationship and you haven't really tell your partner about your feelings or your thoughts about how you feel about them, or something that you want to deal with, you should go talk to them. For me personally, that's what I experience. It means that it's time to let go of all the emotional uh, baggage that you are holding. You have to let it go, so that you can start anew. In a real sense, when you go back to the point that it is past the sixth hour of the day. It's past the quarter of the day, because the day has 24 hours, and 24 is it's actually like the 6 can, if you 24 divide by 4, it goes fourth time, so it's the quarter of the day. And if you really want to move forward past that quarter of the day, you have to let go of all the emotional feelings or garbage that you are holding inside. And that's really, for my own personal point, that's what it means. But again, so the 1313, in reality, I haven't really experienced the number 1313, because I, in most cases, you would see it in a calendar, like, you know, the calendar, it won't really, you may see it in a calendar, or the temperature, so maybe it's the 13th day and then it's 13 degrees outside. You may come across something like that, which is not as common as it is. So it just goes down to number 13. So it's 713. Seven it's a very sacred number. It's a very holistic number that, most of things repeat in 7. After 7, you start something new. You know, like you have seven basic rainbow colors. There's a lot of things that comes in seven, so it's more like it's a complete set. And then when you add 13, there's one which is the beginning, and three is it's a number of power, it's Trinity. So that means you have complete one step. You have to let go of things and then move forward. I hope this can kind of give you a perspective on the meaning of number 1313. Thank you.